March 2000, inside an FBI office in Jacksonville, Florida, a phone starts ringing. The agent who picks up has no idea that the voice on the other end is about to expose one of the most outrageous frauds in American history. The caller does not give a name, just a warning. McDonald's monopoly is rigged. Not once, not recently, for years. According to the tip, the million-dollar winners America had been celebrating were never real winners at all. They were selected, controlled, connected, and behind all of it was one man the public had never heard of. A man known only by a nickname, Uncle Jerry. At first it sounds impossible. McDonald's monopoly was supposed to be random. Millions of customers, millions of game pieces, secure printing, armed transport, tamper-proof seals, auditors, vaults, every layer designed to make fraud impossible. But the deeper the FBI digs, the worse it gets. Because this was not a glitch. It was not a lucky streak, and it was not one stolen prize. For more than a decade, the biggest rewards in one of America's most famous promotions had allegedly been disappearing before the game even began. The people buying fries, drinks, and burgers never had a real shot. The winners had already been chosen. The money had already been spoken for, and the man behind it was not a customer. He was not a hacker. He was not even on the outside trying to break in. He was the security officer, the one man trusted to protect the entire game. This is the story of how a former cop quietly turned a fast food promotion into a criminal pipeline, how he built a network of fake winners across the country, and how one of the most recognizable games in America became alive for 12 straight years. Because for a long time, every time someone peeled back a Monopoly sticker and dreamed of becoming rich, the game was already over. The McDonald's Monopoly game launches in 1987. Simple concept: buy food, peel stickers, collect property sets, win prizes. Most stickers are worthless or offer small rewards. Free fries, a drink, a sandwich. But certain rare pieces complete valuable sets. And one set, Boardwalk and Park Place, pays out $1 million. The game is phenomenally successful. Sales spike 40% whenever McDonald's runs the promotion. Customers buy food they don't want just to peel more stickers. The promise of instant wealth drives traffic through the doors at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. McDonald's begins running the promotion multiple times per year. To run a promotion, his large McDonald's contracts with Simon Marketing, a Los Angeles firm that handles everything from game design to prize distribution. Simon, in turn, contracts with Dittler Brothers, a Georgia printing company trusted with secure printing jobs, lottery tickets, postage stamps, documents that cannot be counterfeited. The system is designed with multiple layers of security. Winning pieces are printed separately from common pieces. They're stored in a vault, requiring multiple employees to open simultaneously. They're transported in tamper-proof envelopes with unique seals. An independent auditor shadows the security officer at every step. The security officer's name is Jerome Jacobson. Everyone calls him Jerry. His friends call him Uncle Jerry. Jacobson is a former police officer from Florida. A nerve condition forced him off the force. Doctors warned it could lead to paralysis, and he drifted into private security work. By the late 1980s, he's running security for Simon Marketing, earning around $70,000 a year. His job is to ensure that valuable game pieces move securely from the printing press to the packaging plants, where they're attached to cups and boxes. Ironclad procedures, constant surveillance, multiple witnesses at every transfer point. In 1989, Jacobson steals his first piece, a $25,000 winner. He gives it to his stepbrother. Nobody notices. The vulnerability is laughably simple. When Jacobson travels with the sealed envelope of winning pieces, an independent auditor accompanies him everywhere except the bathroom. During layovers at airports, Jacobson excuses himself, enters a stall, opens the tamper-proof envelope with a razor blade, removes the valuable pieces, replaces them with worthless ones he's brought along, reseals the envelope with identical security stickers that a foreign supplier accidentally mailed directly to his home. The auditor never suspects. The envelope looks untouched. The seal appears intact. When they arrive at packaging plants and Jacobson opens the envelope in front of witnesses, everyone watches valuable pieces get attached to random boxes. Except the pieces aren't valuable anymore. The real prizes are already in Jacobson's pocket. By 1995, when McDonald's raises the grand prize to $1 million, Jacobson is ready to scale up. The question is distribution. If he claims prizes himself, investigators will connect the dots. If too many winners cluster in the same geographic area or share obvious relationships, someone will notice. Jacobson needs recruiters, people who can find winners in different states, people who can keep their mouths shut. At an airport in Atlanta, Jacobson meets a man named Gennaro Colombo. The name should be familiar. The Colombo crime family is one of New York's 5 families, a criminal enterprise with roots stretching back to 1928. Gennaro, who goes by Jerry, grew up in Brooklyn before relocating to South Carolina, where he runs nightclubs, casinos, and gambling operations. Large man, expensive tastes, the kind of person who knows people who know people. Within months, Jacobson and Colombo strike a deal. Jacobson sells $1 million game pieces for $50,000 each. Colombo finds buyers and keeps whatever markup he can extract. The network expands rapidly. Colombo recruits his wife, Robin, who brings in her father and her friends. A family in Jacksonville wins 3 separate $1 million prizes plus a Dodge Viper, and nobody at McDonald's connects the dots. Andrew Glom, a convicted cocaine trafficker fresh out of a 12-year prison sentence, becomes another major recruiter, passing winning pieces to his criminal contacts across Florida. A Mormon real estate developer named Dwight Baker, deep in debt from failed investments, joins the operation and brings in church members and business associates. Don Hart, a trucking magnate, Richard Couturier, another recruiter, psychics, strip club owners, random people Jacobson meets at car shows or Mardi Gras parades. The scheme runs for 12 years, 60 stolen game pieces, $24 million in fraudulent prizes. Not a single legitimate customer wins a major award. Gloria Brown is 39 years old in 1997, single mother, lives in Jacksonville, works as a social worker, making $24,000 a year, barely scraping by. Her friend Robin Colombo, wife of Gennaro, approaches her with an offer. Robin is worried. Too many winners are white Italian men from the same region. Suspicion could follow. What the operation needs is diversity. At an Applebee's, Gennaro Colombo slides into the booth across from Gloria. Explains the deal. $40,000 up front. In exchange, $1 million winning game piece. Gloria will claim the prize, collect $50,000 a year for 20 years, and pay Colombo half of every check. The math doesn't quite work out. Taxes eat into her share, and she's still paying off the $40,000 she had to borrow. But Colombo doesn't care about Gloria's math. Colombo cares about getting paid. Gloria remortgages her house, meets Colombo on the side of Interstate 95, and hands him $40,000 in cash. Largest amount of money she's ever held. Watches it disappear into his hands. Days later, Colombo drives her to a McDonald's in South Carolina. Jacksonville has too many winners already, and coaches her on what to say. She found the piece while cleaning out her car. She lives in Beaufort, not Jacksonville. She records a voicemail greeting on a cousin's answering machine to make the cover story hold. The prize comes through. Gloria becomes the first black woman to win McDonald's Monopoly $1 million jackpot. Local newspapers run photos. McDonald's executives shake her hand. She gives quotes about dreams coming true. Behind the scenes, her monthly mortgage payment has tripled. Colombo takes half of every check. The taxes fall entirely on her. When the dust settles, Gloria's net gain is roughly $10,000 a year, less than she'd make picking up an extra shift at work. And she still owes money on the loan she took to buy the ticket. The blessing she hoped for turns into a trap. Colombo grows threatening when payments are late. The jolly fat man from the Applebee's booth reveals another side. Reminders that his family has ways of handling problems. Hints that disappear when Gloria pays on time, return when she doesn't. She's in too deep to get out. The scheme owns her. May 7th, 1998. Gennaro Colombo is driving through Georgia with his wife Robin and their young son Francesco. They're looking for land to build a new house. An F-15 truck slams into their car on the expressway. The impact drags the vehicle 250 feet into a concrete barrier. Colombo crawls from the wreckage. Robin and the boy survive with injuries. 2 weeks later, doctors take Colombo off life support. The man who recruited half of Uncle Jerry's network is dead at 44. For Jacobson, this is a problem. Colombo handled distribution across the Southeast. Without him, Jacobson needs new recruiters. Andrew Glom steps into a larger role. Dwight Baker expands his Mormon network. The operation continues, but the tight control Jacobson maintained begins to loosen. Winners cluster geographically. Patterns emerge in the data that nobody is looking at yet. For Robin Colombo, widowhood brings complications. Her in-laws blame her for the accident. She was driving. They fight for custody of Francesco. Robin spirals, check fraud charges, drug offenses, prison time. The in-laws get the boy. But Robin knows secrets. She knows names. She knows where the bodies are buried, metaphorically speaking. And she knows that someone in the family has been talking to federal investigators. Back to Jacksonville, March 2000, Special Agent Richard Dent is building his case. The anonymous tip pointed him to Uncle Jerry. Phone records led him to Andrew Glom. Wiretaps on Glom's line revealed the full scope of the operation. Glom is distributing pieces to winners across Florida. Dwight Baker is doing the same in South Carolina and beyond. Every few weeks, Jacobson meets a recruiter at a remote location. A gas station, a parking lot, a lakeside property in Fairplay, South Carolina, and hands over stolen game pieces in exchange for cash. The FBI faces a decision. They could arrest Jacobson now, but the case would be stronger if they caught the operation in real time, recorded the transactions, filmed the winners claiming fraudulent prizes. Dent approaches McDonald's executives with a proposal. Keep running the monopoly promotion. Let us watch. When Jacobson steals the next round of pieces and distributes them to his network, we'll be there. McDonald's CEO Jack Greenberg signs off on the plan. Operation Final Answer launches. Summer 2001. McDonald's runs a new monopoly promotion. Jacobson steals the winning prizes, just as he has for 12 years. He distributes them to Colombo and Baker. They find their winners, and the FBI watches everything. Wiretaps captured Jacobson demanding deposits from Baker. I got to have the kind of deposit. Your word is not good enough? Your word is good. Are you willing to back it up though? Surveillance teams film Baker and his wife staking out Indianapolis International Airport, waiting for a winner to return from collecting her $500,000 prize, confronting her in arrivals and demanding their cut. The FBI's marketing director, Amy Murray, hatches a plan. They'll invite all the suspicious winners to Las Vegas for a reunion celebration. Catch them all at once. But the logistics prove complicated. Instead, they settle on a simpler sting. Murray contacts individual winners under the guise of filming McDonald's commercials. The winners show up expecting cameras and cash. They get cameras and questions. Michael Hoover is a pit boss from Rhode Island. Glom recruited him. He's just won $1 million in the 2001 Monopoly promotion. When the filming crew arrives at his home, FBI agents posing as McDonald's marketing staff, Hoover tells his story. He was at the beach. He fell asleep, woke up covered in sand. His magazine had gotten wet. He went to a convenience store, bought another copy of the same magazine, found the winning piece inside. The agents nod along, filming everything. They drive Hoover to the beach where he supposedly found the magazine. They take him to the convenience store where he bought the replacement. They photograph him holding a giant novelty check. Hoover thinks the cute marketing director likes him. Half an hour after the crew leaves, Hoover calls Glom. They bought it, told them the whole story about the beach and the magazine. They didn't suspect anything. What Hoover doesn't know is that the FBI has a wiretap on his phone. Agents hear every word. The trap is set. August 21st, 2001. FBI teams fan out across the eastern United States. Dawn raids hit homes in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Rhode Island, Texas, and Indiana. 8 arrests in the first wave. Jerome Jacobson, Andrew Glom, Dwight Baker and his wife Linda, Michael Hoover, John Davis, Ronald Huey, Brenda Finis. More will follow. By the time the investigation concludes, 53 people will face indictments. 51 will plead guilty or be convicted at trial. Attorney General John Ashcroft holds a press conference. This fraud scheme denied McDonald's customers a fair and equal chance of winning. For 12 years, Americans peeled stickers dreaming of Boardwalk. The odds weren't slim, the odds were zero. Every major prize was already spoken for before the promotion began. The trial opens September 10th, 2001. The next morning, terrorists crash planes into the World Trade Center. The news cycle moves on. The McDonald's fraud case becomes a footnote. Jacobson pleads guilty to 3 counts of mail fraud. At sentencing, he apologizes. All I can tell you is I made the biggest mistake of my life. The judge gives him 37 months in federal prison and orders $12.5 million in restitution. He serves his time and is released in October 2005. The recruiters receive lighter sentences. Glom gets a year and a day. Baker gets probation. The winners mostly avoid prison. Prosecutors can't prove they knew the pieces were stolen, only that they lied about how they found them. Restitution orders are handed down. Monthly payments stretch into decades. Gloria Brown, who hoped a $1 million prize would change her life, pleads guilty to conspiracy charges and faces potential prison time plus $300,000 in restitution. She still works 2 jobs in Florida, still paying off the mortgage she took out to buy a ticket she never should have bought. Robin Colombo, who recruited Gloria and helped choose so many winners, serves 18 months in federal prison. She finds religion inside, writes a memoir called From a Mafia Widow to God's Child. Her relationship with her in-laws eventually heals. Her son Francesco grows up. They reconcile. The woman who once introduced people to Uncle Jerry now introduces herself as a grandmother. McDonald's severs its relationship with Simon Marketing. The company collapses. Stock price drops from $100 to 50 cents in a single day. Hundreds of employees lose their jobs. The ripple effects of one man's bathroom heist spread across an industry. To restore public trust, McDonald's announces a special promotion, $25 million in prizes, the approximate value of what Jacobson stole, distributed randomly to customers who had no connection to the fraud. A do-over, a reset, a chance for someone, finally, to win fair and square. The question everyone asks, who was the informant? The anonymous caller who tipped off the FBI in March 2000 and started the investigation that brought down Uncle Jerry's empire. The Bureau never reveals the name, but years later, in an interview, Gennaro Colombo's brother Frank provides an answer. The informant was their mother, Ma Colombo, the grandmother who wanted custody of her grandson Francesco after Robin went to prison. The woman who watched her daughter-in-law walk free while she fought for access to her own grandchild. Ma Colombo called the FBI not to pursue justice, but to pursue a grudge. She wanted Robin locked up longer. She wanted the boy. It worked. Robin's role in the fraud added years to her legal troubles. The boy went from his grandmother, the $24 million conspiracy that evaded detection for over a decade, fell apart because of a family custody dispute. Jerome Jacobson is 83 years old today, living quietly in Georgia, poor health, rarely discusses the fraud with anyone. His old recruiter Andrew Glom still calls him sometimes. "I hate to say it," Glom told a reporter, "but I'd probably do it again. Every time I talk to Jacobson, I always tease him. I say, 'You got any tickets?'" The McDonald's Monopoly game returned to the United States in September 2025 after a decade-long hiatus. Digital integrations, new prizes, nostalgia marketing about the thrill of the peel. Nothing in the promotional materials mentions why the game disappeared. Nothing mentions Uncle Jerry. Nothing mentions the 12 years when every major prize was stolen before the first sticker was peeled. Somewhere in America, right now, a customer is buying French fries and dreaming of Boardwalk. The odds are roughly 1 in 300 million. At least for the first time in over a decade, someone might actually win. Uncle Jerry showed what happens when one person sits at the center of a system designed to prevent fraud. Guards at every door, cameras in every room, auditors shadowing every move. And still, the man with the keys found a bathroom where nobody could follow, found a razor blade that could open a tamper-proof seal, found a supplier who accidentally mailed replacement stickers to his home, found that the elaborate security apparatus protecting $50 million in prizes had one vulnerability that nobody anticipated: the security officer himself. For 12 years, Americans bought Big Macs and believed in random chance. For 12 years, the game was already over before it began. The winning pieces were gone. The prizes were spoken for. The only question was which of Uncle Jerry's friends would cash in this time, and how much they'd kick back to the man who made it all possible.